Guys, are you finding it difficult to draft and sew a joggers? On today's tutorial, I'm going to make it very easy and simple for you, beginner friendly. So the first thing you need is your joggers material, right? This is a joggers material. You can get it in the market. I got mine at Yaba. Okay, so then the next thing you need to do is to draft out your trouser pattern. Okay, I have a tutorial on how to draft out a trouser pattern, okay. Now the difference between your normal trouser pattern and your joggers trouser is that for your joggers, right, the band is going to be, I'm going to add the measurement for the band, that's 2 inches to the length of the trouser. I won't be adding the band separately. No, the band is going to be joined to is going to be on the measurement for your trouser. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like on this trouser measurement now that you're seeing, I already put my 2 inches measurement for my band. Can you see? Folding it in, I already put it. So I'm not going to be attaching my band separately for this trouser. All right, just like our normal trousers, you remove 2 inches from the top part, right, so that you fix your band later on. But for your joggers, right, you won't remove any 2 inches. No, you just start marking your normal measurements, right? So you need your trouser pattern, you need your pocket, you need elastic, fat elastic and slim elastic. Okay, so see what I'm trying to say now. For your trouser, what I was trying to explain, when making your trouser, you're going to go up, remove 2 inches for your band before you mark out the length of your normal trouser. Do you get? But for making a joggers, right, you have to fold your band in, can you see, and then measure the full length of your trouser. You don't need to remove 2 inches again because your band is going to be among the measurements for your full length. Do you understand? So when you fold your band in, then you start taking your full measurement for your trouser. You take your waist measurements, your hip measurements, your crotch measurements, your lap measurements, and then you just draw it down. I have a full, well-detailed tutorial on how to draft a trouser, how to draft shorts. So you can watch that tutorial video on how to draft a trouser. Okay? But if you've watched it, then this particular part is going to be a walk in the park for you. Okay? So now when making your joggers, for your waist part, you add 5 inches allowance. For your lap part, you're adding 5 inches from allowance. Okay, that 5 inches because as usual, if you watch, a joggers is not tight. Okay, now for your pocket, right, where your band stopped, where you folded your band in, you have to notch it so that you start fixing your pocket there. Right, now to create your pocket, very simple, just place your hands on your pattern paper and just draw a circle and you're good to go. Can you see? Place your hands on your pattern paper, draw a circle, semicircle, and you're good to go. So this is very simple how to get your pocket for your joggers. Even your pocket for your gown. Okay, this is how to get your pockets. Okay, there are different ways or shapes of making your pockets, but the first one is beginner friendly. So I already cut my pockets with a different shape for my clients, right? So we're going to go into the cutting. So guys, if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please click on the subscription button and subscribe, like, and share the videos, guys. Okay, so our pocket is ready. As I said earlier, what you need are your trouser pattern and your pockets. Okay, now the first thing you need to do, just as we make our trousers, you have to close the crotch part with 1/2 inch. So I've closed the crotch part of the front and the back. Okay, can you see? I've closed the crotch area. So that's the first thing you need to do. Then the next thing you need to do is to attach your pocket. All right, there are different ways of attaching pockets, but I want to show you a very easy way for you. Okay, less stressful. Now remember, I said you have to notch where your band, when you fold your band in, where your band will stop. Okay, so where it stops, that's where your pocket is going to start from. So can you see how I placed my pocket? The right sides facing each other, and then I'm going to pin it down. The right sides facing each other. Can you see? So you're going to do this for the four sides, the front, the two sides of the front, and then the two sides of the back, okay, where your pockets are going to be. So the right sides are going to be facing each other, can you see? And you're going to pin it up. So hope we understand up to this part. Your material, your joggers material, your band or your elastic, then your pockets, those are the things that you need. Then the measurements you need for this are your waist measurements and your lap measurements. You need your hip measurements if you want, but you know a joggers is very free, okay? So you can use your hip measurements as the measurement for your waist, because a joggers is free, it's not tight. So I've pinned my pockets to the side areas, right? Now it's time for me to sew it, okay? So you take it to your machine and then you sew straight. Just sew it first of all straight like this to the sides, right? So when you're done sewing, right, so this is how it's going to look. Can you see? When you're done sewing, right, this is how it's going to look. Then you flip it in and then you match it down on the front area. You match it down. You match down your pockets, right? Can you see what I'm doing? You match it down on the four areas, the four sides, okay? You match it down. So when you're done matching it down, we're good to go. This is how your joggers is going to look. Can you see the stitch on the front area? So this is how it's going to look. So that when you fold it in, can you see how it's looking? So this is the second step. So the next step we're going to do is to join the crotch area, okay? So hope you understand up to this point. So join the crotch area, all right? So we'll pin the front and the back crotch together, and then we join it with 1/2 inch or 1 inch, depends on how many inch allowance you added, okay? So hope you understand up to this point. It's just very simple. The trick in your joggers is 1, to get the right joggers material, right? 2, to get your right measurements. Know that your joggers is not meant to be too tight. It's not meant to be too tight. It's supposed to be a little bit loose, okay? So now I'm going to show you how to join the sides after joining the crotch area. So you pin your front and your back together. Can you see how it's looking? Can you see that the pocket areas are aligning because of that notch? So always make sure you notch where your pocket is starting and where your pocket should stop, okay? So now can you see how you sew it from the waist down to the pocket, right round, back to the sides, okay? So this is how, just follow my chalk markings, okay? So this is how you will join the both sides of your joggers trouser, all right? So when you're done, you're good to go. This is how it's looking. So now please pay very good attention to this part, the waist area, okay? So now you remember I told you that we added our 2 inches for our waistband, right? We added it, right? So you don't need to attach a new waistband. No, all you need to do is to fold it in. Can you see what I'm doing? Fold it in. Can you see? So now you fold it in by the 2 inches that we already marked, okay? And then you pin it. All right. Now I want us to know something. You know, we will be putting band in this. We'll be putting elastic inside this band. So when you're folding it, watch your seam allowances. Make sure that they are facing the same direction. Do you get? Now you see this seam allowance is facing my left, Abby. It's facing left, right? All right, but it's facing. You see the way I folded it, right? All your seam allowances will be facing the same area. So if you folded it left, every other seam, both the other side seam, the center seam, they'll be facing the same area. Can you see how I placed it? Now you ask me why. So that when you're fixing your elastic, right, it will go smoothly. Because if they are facing opposite directions, if they're not facing the same directions, you will see that your elastic won't go through. Because the seam allowances will not give it like a headway to pass through. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So if you want to understand clearly what I'm saying, right? When you fold your band, don't put the seam allowances in the same area. You see what I'm trying to say. Then when you fix them, when you fold them in the same area, you also see what I'm trying to say. Okay, so that it will give easy passageway for your elastic to move. All right, so now I've folded my seam allowance in on the same direction. I've folded my band. Now the next thing for me to do is to close it up. All right, so you're going to stitch the bottom part right round. Do you get? So you're going to stitch it, the bottom part right round. So that's the next thing we're going to do. So then, but before stitching it, right, you know we're going to, this tutorial is how to use fix your joggers with your band and your rope now, right? So now on that 2 inches we marked for the band, that 2 inches, remember we marked 2 inches for our band area, right? Now you're going to go up. See, that's the 2 inches. I'm just marking it for you to see. Now you're going to go up by 1 inch. Can you see? You go up by 1 inch, just mark it. Then from the center, from the midpoint, you mark 1 inch apart. Can you see what I'm doing? From the center of your trouser, the center front, mark 1 inch apart. That's where you'll be making just little stitches, right? That we're going to be fixing our rope through. Okay, so for some joggers they don't have rope, but I want to teach you how to use rope for your joggers, so that if you want to use only elastic is fine. If you want to use just rope is fine. So when you make that marking, right, then you use your strong gum stay. You're using your strong gum stay to keep the material firm. Okay, to keep the material firm. So you iron your strong gum stay to that area where you marked your lines, right? Remember that those lines are, you're going to create small stitches. Those small stitches are where we'll pass our rope, the rope for the joggers rope. Okay, so now I've already done it. I've stitched the bottom part, right? Now the next thing we're going to do is to fix our band right through. Okay, right round your joggers. So you have to be careful and patient. Okay, you fix your band right through. Now for the front of the joggers, right, you can decide to just sew simple straight stitch, that's 4 corner stitch, right? Or you can use eyelet, but make sure the eyelet you're using is original, because if you don't use an original eyelet, you'll find out that the eyelet is shifting out of the hole that you created. Do you get? So now I fixed my band. Can you see? I'm trying to align it to get the waist of the client. Do you get? Not directly the waist, but I'm just trying to put the band in proportion. Do you get? The elastic. So this is what you will do. If you've gotten the desired consistency that you want, you pin your elastic and then you join both of them together. Okay, so I'm not going to be making it so tight because, as I said, I'm also going to use a rope for this. Okay, but for some people you can just stop in the band area, just fix your band and you're good to go. Okay, so but on this tutorial I'll still teach you how to use your rope. So I've fixed my band. I've created the stitches at the front where my rope is going to pass through, as I said earlier, right? Opened it up. Can you see? So this hole is where my joggers rope is going to pass through. All right, so this is the joggers rope. You can get it in the market, right? Where you buy at Yaba, where you buy your joggers material. Okay, you can tell them to give you joggers rope. It's very simple. So you now pass your rope right round. Okay, you can use your safety pin to pass your rope right round. So this is just very simple. This is how to pass your rope for your joggers, right? So when you pass it right round, you bring it out back to your original hole. Can you see? And then you're good to go. Now for some people that don't want to use the rope, as I said earlier, just the band is still okay. All right, it doesn't make a difference. This tutorial is beginner friendly. A beginner can easily make your joggers. Okay, if you don't have the rope, just use your fat elastic. Okay, so we're good to go for the upper part. Can you see how the rope is now dragging it and making it to be tighter to your waist circumference? So that's just it for the upper part. Do we have any question? If you have any question, please let me know in the comment section, okay? So now the last thing we need to do is the length of our trouser, to fold it up, right? To turn it up. So if the length of your joggers is, let's say, 40, you have to add like 2 or 3 inches allowance to make it 42. Why? Because you're going to fold it up. So I added 3 inches allowance from my original length of trouser, okay? So I'm now going to mark it and then turn it up, okay? So because it's a joggers, we're still going to add elastic right round. So the same thing we did for the upper part, for the waist area, we will do the same thing for the bottom area, okay? Fold your seam allowances on one direction. Can you see? Fold your seam allowances on one direction, and then you pin it up, and then you fix your band, okay? Just the same way we did for the front part, that's the same way we'll do for the back part, for the bottom part, okay? Hope you understand up to this point. Please, if you have any question, let me know in the comment section and I'll try my best to explain, okay? So guys, we are almost through with this tutorial video. This is the last stuff to do. So you fold it in. Can you see? Please remember to pin it up, okay? Fold your seams on the same direction, and then you get your elastic. So I folded it in, I've mashed it down, like I've sewn it. Now I'm going to use my elastic to turn it right around. Now you can decide to use a smaller elastic, but because my turn up is 3 inches wide, it's kind of big, okay? So I use this fat elastic. So I've turned mine up. Can you see how it's looking? So we are good to go. I like the size, it's okay. So I'm now going to close up the elastic, right? And then we're good to go. So guys, let me teach us how to create your drawstring lines on your joggers. You know those joggers that you see, they have lines, like elastic lines on the joggers. Let me teach you how to do it. So after creating your hole, right, for your joggers at the waist area, okay, and you fixed your band, you fixed your elastic, right? Now you start creating lines. You mark. Now the distance from one line to the other on this tutorial is half inch, right? Make sure you create a space, that hole that you left for your rope, make sure it's spacious enough so that when you're passing your rope right round, it's going to be easy for you. So the first thing you need to do is to create your lines. Can you see? So I've created my lines, half inch allowance from both sides. Then the part where I'm going to fix my rope, that part is 0.75 wide. Do you understand? Do you get what I'm trying to say? So to create this drawstring waist, you know, I taught you how to use only elastic and rope. Now I'm teaching you how to use both elastic and rope with that looks like drawstring. You know, these professional joggers, right? How it looks. So this is how to create it. There's still another way of creating it, but this is the easiest, right? So the first thing you need to do is, after folding your waistband, right, and creating your opening for your rope, then you pass it right round, okay? When you pass it right round, this is how your joggers is going to be. So thank you guys for watching, and if this tutorial was helpful to you, please click on the subscription button and subscribe, like, and share the videos. Thank you to my new subscribers. Thank you to my old subscribers. See you on my next tutorial video. Bye.